Chandra's death. Are we back in Dawnshore? Already?
This is Sapadal's doing. I'm certain of it. No power in Aora could transport us so quickly, or so far. Doubtful. While they were in chains, so too was their power.
Are you seeing this? I don't think paradis looked like this when we left it.
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually get that big this quickly, do they?
Based on their growth and size, I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks.
I don't know about that. Those vines might have taken down that eyesore honoring the May Queen. No offense.
Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our perception of time? Assuming there's even a difference.
It's like how a body fights an infection. The fever gives you strange dreams that feel like an eternity.
Look at this place. It feels like we're still in the dream. And not just us. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor, and steel garrote banners past the barricades. That can't be good.
Even Raingrim is here. Perhaps we'll get to see an Archmage in action.
I think I see Elia as well. What a strange reunion this will be.
The Blessed Wardens are here too. That conflict we've been trying so hard to prevent started without us.
If he didn't start this himself.
The steel garrote have been itching for a fight this whole time. This would have happened with or without us.
Before we go, what happened back there with the Dream Scourge and Sapadal?
I'm not sure. That's good, right?
It's a relief that the Dream Scourge won't be a problem. I only hope we can say the same about Sapadal. Time will tell, I suppose.
After all this time, they're free. And the living land is free to heal.
We've cured the land, and we've even freed a caged god. All in all, rather a successful day.
Hill and God entwine. The flower shades the soil in which it grows.
We should take a look. See if we can get ahead of whatever storm is brewing down there.
People seem to be gathering west of here. Whatever's happening, let's be a part of it.
They marched in with no warning. Oh, what does the garrote think they're doing? What's the point of exploring if you just want to plant your flag everywhere? First my assistants, now this. Why can't they settle these things over tea for once?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be here.
If you're looking for survivors, a few of us fled to the Balrog.
How many?
I'm not sure. I saw Sapiento. God, I hope they're not trapped in there. You always were a forgiving friend.
We should move. Let's hope the garrote hasn't made it to the Balrog yet.
Envoy, wait! Before you go, I may have something for you. I took some supplies when I ran. If you think they'll help, they're yours. I'll even give you a discount. You know, for saving the city and everything.
We meet again, Envoy. And you, Yardsley. You're always a prodigious and welcome sight.
Oh, yes. Always a pleasure to see you, too.
Paradis burns, thanks to Ludwine and the Steel Garrote laying siege to it. But the Dream Scourge is gone.
She must have come back to life. Again. I suppose we couldn't be lucky enough for her to stay dead.
It's remarkable how hard you mortals fight for causes that'll be forgotten within centuries. Still, I do think the world has been irrevocably, if minimally, changed by your actions. Perhaps a new god being set loose on the world is certain to have consequences. Mostly, I'm curious about whether you think you've made the right choice. Ah, that mortal zeal. Always so fun. We will see if you're correct. I am interested in seeing the outcome of your story, Envoy. With luck, it won't end with you also on fire. Unfortunately, you'll likely be dead the next time I return to the Living Lands. Goodbye, Envoy. And Yardsley, I do look forward to when all of this is done. I am eager to work with you.
Oh, yes. We'll, discuss that later.
Giata, where have you been?
Envoy? Is it really you? Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Nakutadek?
The origin of the Dream Scourge? It was the act of a god this whole time?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak. It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened?
Sapadal was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
But the plague isn't over. Dream thralls still litter Shatterscarp.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but. What of this god, then? What does it mean that you freed them?
Wodka no doubt saw Sapadal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart paradis? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
Nakutadek was raven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
We saw similar destruction at Nakukubel. If these roots and the Dream Scourge are the work of a god, and the gods thought it best to imprison this god, how could you let such a creature go free?
For now. Who's to say they don't get their feathers in a ruff again and wipe us all out with a tsunami?
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapadal. We'll have nothing to fear from this god once we expel you from our lands.
Sapadal's power ravaged my people. I don't know that I can ever trust it.
Keeping watch over Sapadal was a sacred task Nandru gave us when he left. For that reason alone, my wardens owe them their allegiance.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back in the bottle now. But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. The Steel Garrote have attacked Paradis. Inquisitor Ludwig has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Ludwig's plowed through the militia like a knife through warm butter.
All right, let's keep the similes to ourselves.
Oh, cheer up. You wouldn't be the first to make that mistake. Might not be the last either, depending on how things go. So long as her passion for Wodica lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That will be easy.
It is not, I think, impossible. Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen. It was Ludwig who called for the attack.
I didn't hear an answer, Ambassador.
She and her Steel Garrote laid siege to the city shortly after you beat her to the garden. Ludwig has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Ludwig, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here. Oh, Envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. There would be reprisals. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your own. It would be difficult. No, impossible. I'm certain you would fail. Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake.
Though I'm hardly eager to work with any of you, I like the idea of twisting beneath Adir's boot heel even less. But the wardens cannot continue their vigil without water. If the others would fix our aqueduct, we're in.
It's a nice idea, but consider the costs. If we walk away from a relationship with Adir, we're leaving a lot of trade on the table. But the people of Thirdborn have friends in the world. I'm sure we'd find our way through.
With the Envoy's support, we'd have a god in our pocket. What could the Empire do to stop us? When my people return to Fjord, we could create such miracles of animancy, the living lands would become the breadbasket of the world.
Of course. Well, don't leave me in suspense. Oh, gods have mercy.
Sorlus and her wardens stand vigil with the living lands.
By grit and steel, Thirdborn stands with the living lands.
Fjord and her animancers stand with the living lands.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Fighting a battle together is easy. I just hope everyone's willing to stick it out when it comes to the politics.
God, they made the right decision for once.
Finally, some sense permeates the proceedings.
On your head be the consequences. That leaves the matter of Ludwig and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis, and eventually the island.
The living lands will never be free until we break the chain around our necks. Ludwig must die her final death.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy. One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Thank you for deserving it. Now, go and teach the Steel Garrote a lesson they will never forget.
Show them that the living lands will not be broken across Vodka's knee.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza. May all the gods of Eora and the living lands protect you.
Let's take back the city together. Show the Steel Garrote how the living lands takes care of its own.
Let's go free a city, shall we?
Yardsley, well done.
Nickworth and Roth! Nickworth and Roth!
Enjoy the pain, dear.
Another soul for the weak.
And Roth! And Roth! And Roth! What was that? Get high. And Roth!
Stop right there. It's easy when you
Nickworth and Roth! Nickworth and Roth! And Roth! Nickworth and Roth! And Roth! Don't worry about the Eastern Gate. I'll protect your back. That's all of them.
The Envoy? Of course you'd be the last face I see. I guess I shouldn't be surprised to see you here. I have. As an endearing soldier, it's only fitting I die here at the dawn of our war against the living lands. But never mind that. That isn't what's important right now. You've declared yourself for the enemy. You've turned your back on Adir, on the Emperor. Again. I don't understand. Why, Envoy? What right do the others have to be here? Because they landed some number of years before us? Does that mean they deserve it? You won't stop us. Even if I'm food for worms. One way or another, these lands belong to Ad. You sicken me.
Envoy. The sooner we get where we're going, the better.
I heard some. Stop right there.
Get off me!
Egworth and Rob!
And rock! I'll teach you!
Wodeca demands your submission. Stand against her and fall!
Let's pay Ludwig one final visit, shall we? Let's make sure she stays dead this time. All right, dearie?
There you are! So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? You'll get your chance. Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
Her order wields sharp steel. She must set down her blade.
Don't insult my intelligence or my commitment to the cause. Treaties can be burned. The hands which shook over whatever deal you struck can be lopped off at the wrist. As for you, Sapadal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live. Judgment has been passed. Now comes the sentence. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
And this time, we'll finish the job.
You really believe you can kill me? Do it then. Kill me as no one ever has. Hold nothing back. Give it your all and destroy me.
There's no coming back this time. Prepare yourself for the next world.
You won't be missed, Ludwig.
Once I'm done killing you, your god of flesh.
Let's finish this.
Rock!
We are every seed in the soil. We will always grow.
Come on, and kill her all. One last time.
And rock!
Whoa! Queen among queens! Send me your aid!
Wodeca is done with Ludwig.
Wasn't wrong!
Luthen! Take worth and rock! Take worth and rock! And rock! Take worth and rock!
Grow up! Again! Help me! One last time!
Take worth and rock! And rock! Take worth and rock!
We won't get through this. Patience.
And rock!
Worth it wrong!
worth and wrong! Take worth and wrong!
Come on! Come on!
Just a minute. I'll do that.
And wrong! And wrong!
Get her now.
And wrong! Take worth and wrong! Take worth and wrong! Take worth and wrong!
Wherever Ludwine is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done for, but we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together.
Guys, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradis, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradis militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The dream scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. Thanks to you, the living lands has escaped Adiran oppression. The free settlements unite under a common banner and begin the fraught process of negotiating new traditions and values. The Empire withdraws. The frontier remains wild, but not for long. Fugitives no more. The rebels of Paradis return to their home and to other free settlements, bringing their skills and secrets wherever needed. For once, they have a future. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. In time, the people of Emerald Stair return to their city of Fior-Messiverno. Research yields new developments in the struggle against nature. Technology is shared among the United Settlements. The Empire cannot get in the way of progress. For the people of Shatterscarp, independence is bittersweet. Those who cannot withstand the grief inflicted by Ringgrim's spell leave the settlements, vanishing into the wilderness. Those who remain find themselves forced to cooperate with others, often begrudgingly. With so many dead, the need to stave off hunger outweighs any distaste for certain trading partners. Solace Keep clings to its long-held isolation at first, but after mourning her friend Kostya, Mihala reluctantly deigns to open the doors of the fortress. Some dwarves greet newcomers with glee. Others still mutter darkly about outsiders. Mihala flounders in her earliest negotiations with the rest of the living lands, but slowly learns compromise. She develops a taste for Valian sweets. For the first time in many years, Kai feels an agreeable restlessness. Not to flee, not to drift, but to venture. He visits the distant shores Tama told him about, and savors the modern marvels, ancient wonders, and breathtaking expanses he beholds. His heart swells, not with grief, but with awe. There is so much to discover, and he will spend his years chasing all of the joy and beauty the world has to offer him. With his travels alongside the envoy complete, Marius is left directionless once again. Rather than disappearing into his cups, however, Marius leans on his time among his companions to give him the strength to re-enter society and find comfort in civilization. He establishes a route between Paradis and Thirdborn, guiding travelers between the two in return for money and supplies. And while he has a reputation for being aloof, he joins the campfires from time to time, sharing stories of his time with the envoy that most travelers believe are completely made up. Giada continues to improve as an animancer. She dedicates her work to the spiritual health of the living lands, nurturing instead of exploiting. Others follow her example, seeking her tutelage from lands far and wide. In the years to come, rumors spread of a secret society gathering in the wilderness, where animancers work in harmony with nature. The dream of Fior-Messiverno lives on in her. No longer under the threat of imminent death, Yatsley returns to the animancers. Reunited with her beloved Quilici, she helps him and the animancers as they put their lives together after the attack on Fior-Messiverno. Eventually, she even has something nice to say to Vidaro. As the days pass in contentment and relative peace, Yatsley is struck by the persistent feeling that something is missing. Though she still devotes herself to her studies of both the arcane and the godless, the restlessness never goes away. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Sapadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated. Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Sapadal has questions about what happens tomorrow and the day after. You do your best to keep them calm until the voice in your head is little more than a polite whisper. After everything you've been through, you don't mind the company. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.